I want to go over a simple thing that you got today. My name is John Wilker. I'm with the Simplest Biz, the pallet business. And today I want to cover some toxic thinking. And if you're in this mode, uh, starting up a new business or considering a new business, you might want to move away from it at the time for the time until you get these things corrected. So I'm going to go through possibly around 5, 10 things that I want to mention on this. So let's start off right off the bat. But first, if you just go to the link up here and you want more information about the pallet business, I got a link up here you can check out. And thumbs up on the video if you like it. All right. And subscribe if you hadn't subscribed. So that's out of the way. What I want to go over is mindsets on how toxic mindsets can prevent success. And sometimes very unnecessarily. And those are the kinds of things I want to cover today. So if you're looking into something, whether it be the pallet business or anything, and you're thinking, I can only base my decision based on what someone else has done, that's not the correct mindset. The correct mindset is, what can I do? What's in my wheelhouse? What are my talents? What are my abilities to be able to be successful in something, right? What do I bring to the table that's unique? We all bring something unique to the table. But do you see the difference? You're not basing your decision off somebody else's success or failure. You're basing it off you evaluating what you're able to do, which is so much more important than some stranger and what they've done or have not done, or executed and not executed, or hustled or did not hustle to get the results that they're getting, right? So basing it on looking inward is the proper way of going about it. The toxic way of looking at it is, I will base my decision based on what other people are doing, right? And sometimes as humans, we gravitate toward negative stuff, and it cheats you out of a possible success. Back in the day when I tripped upon this, I didn't have anybody to refer to. It just made sense to me, right? And I had to evaluate what I was going to be able to bring to the table and how much tenacity I was going to put toward the pallet business, the pallet recycling business, and what I was willing to do to figure it out. Okay? So if I had done the toxic method of basing my sole decision on trying to do a survey of people, it's really giving you false information because you're not looking at what you bring to the table. And I think that's so important because we all have unique situations, and unique talents. The next thing I want to discuss is when you're looking at information about a business model, are you looking in the aspect of, do I feel comfortable doing it, right? And it's not always toxic, but I'll throw it out there to think, well, this isn't just right for me, right? This doesn't match up with me. And that's okay. But you have to make sure that you're not in a situation where, this makes sense to me, but I'm too lazy to do it, right? Where that can be overcome. If something makes enough sense, sometimes you have to overcome what you haven't done before. The next thing would be, am I able to feel uncomfortable for a minute to get to a place where I do feel comfortable? So anytime we do something new, the toxic thought process was, oh, well, that's going to make me do something that I haven't done before. And that doesn't feel good to me because it's new and it's a little scary. Well, heck, your current situation is probably a lot more scary if you're trying to find out something and let's say you're broke, right? And you're not able to get out of that situation, which is worse, trying to start something new, which may make you feel a little uncomfortable at first, but the end result is a better quality of life. So sometimes we have to fight our own demons to get over the fact that when we do something that we haven't done before, not to fight ourselves to the point where we defeat ourselves because we're not willing to overcome that uncomfortable feeling that takes place when we do anything new. So fight those urges and don't ever let that be a reason for you not to do something. Now, there's certain people out there that can't overcome those fears and they feel safe in their wheelhouse, and just stick with what you're doing if it's providing security for your family. So you're weighing those things as well. Is what I'm currently doing really supplying security for my family? And if it's not, we have to put ourselves in a situation where we can overcome those fears or anxiety of doing something new. It's our moral obligation to do that for our family, to overcome such things. Okay? So another aspect of toxic thinking would be, well, there's probably a lot of other people doing this. Well, that would be like saying after the first McDonald's was built in any given town that there wasn't going to be another McDonald's. That competition scares you to the point where you think that's going to be the outcome of the result. When in fact, with this business model, at least, you better hope you have other individuals doing it in your area, because one, they think like you do. Two, a lot of students that in this particular model help each other out, especially in the beginning. And three, you have a like-minded individual who knows the industry in your area, and there's enough business to go around by an extreme margin that it doesn't matter. And two, you can use these other assets of other people doing it to your benefit, because people are willing to work with each other in a lot of deals when it comes to this particular business model. But this applies to any type of business that you want to look into. Competition is a good thing, because as an entrepreneur, we have to view ourselves as we're going to win over the competition. We're going to work a little harder. We're going to work a little smarter. We're going to be a little bit more innovative. We're going to put our own twist on it. We're going to put our own personality stamp on it. So the correct mindset is evaluate your assets, your sales ability, communication ability, personality, humor, whatever you have in your toolbox, knowing yourself enough to be able to use those things, going out and doing a venture and killing it, having confidence in those abilities. And sometimes you don't have the high level of confidence in the beginning, but as you do something more and more, of course, you become more and more of a pro at it. And do I have the wherewithal as an individual to move through those stages to have high confidence level? But first, we got to go back to that last step. We got to overcome our fear of being uncomfortable for a minute. Maybe stumble a few times. It's okay. It's a learning process when you first get out there with any new business. Fortunately, this one, the hurdle is a lot lower, because you realize in short order that, yes, you got to know your stuff, but at the same time, the way we present this to businesses, the pallet business and all, it's a matter of a conversation with hardworking people, salt of the earth people out there. Bringing knowledge to the table absolutely is mandatory, because they don't want to deal with rookies, right? So you got to know your stuff and how to set deals up and all that. But at the same time, evaluating what you have to bring to the table before you move into a next venture. The last thing I want to bring up is how much effort you're willing to put towards something and how long you're willing to stick to it. I'm not saying you spin your wheels for years and years. No, you have an evaluation to take. But going out there day one, day two, and setting groundwork for this particular model, as an example, you're building upon itself, and you have to realize that it's not like a get rich quick scheme, and there's no easy button. You have to work. Fortunately, the payoff's there. The toxic mindset is, well, if this doesn't bring me money in on day one, then it ain't no good. It ain't worth doing. Where the correct mindset is, how many seeds can I plant out here in the beginning that are going to reap for years and years to come benefits towards me? So having the tenacity to get over that hurdle of your first sale, as an example, your first account that you get. What are you willing to do to get that first account? Because it gets easier and easier as you get doing it with anything. But some people give up too quick, where success is right around the corner. Toxic mindset is you hadn't even got past the uncomfortable part of doing the new thing to even experience the success that's coming at you. So have the tenacity to see this through, whether it be the pallet business or whatever you're going to be doing as a venture, because most successful people are the ones that stuck with it. They planted those seeds, and sometimes seeds don't sprout right away. I have students that made money day one, but I've had other students that took them a month just to get out of the car to talk to someone because they were petrified and they had to get over that fear factor. And then once they did it, the dam broke and success started to come. So we all have our own self-talk, our own toxic thought patterns that we have to battle. And I just want you to understand this is no different as a business model where you have to evaluate it in the sense of, are you fighting it to make excuses for yourself not to do it because you don't want to get in that uncomfortable position of doing something new? Or is it legitimately something you don't believe in? I think those are important things. So evaluate yourself when you're determining this about this particular business model, because that's what I provide for folks. So I want you to understand the correct way of thinking about it. Most importantly, does this make sense? Do you see yourself doing it? How comfortable would you be, and how would it change your life if you did do it? Stay away from the thoughts, I'm basing this on someone else's opinion or someone else's assets or lack of assets, or tenacity or lack of tenacity. You have to evaluate yourself and what you're able to do and what you're able to bring to the table and what hurdles you're able to jump over. Okay? Thanks for spending time with me. Y'all have a good one.